We've all had misunderstandings with our family members and loved ones and our closest relationships. But what happens to you when you feel misunderstood? Today's video is on feeling misunderstood, and the pain that comes from this is actually from a deep wound and trauma. My name is Tess, and I'm with Uncharted Depths. I help my clients break through limited core belief systems, adaptations of the personality, coping mechanisms, and addictions that were developed through childhood difficulties and childhood trauma. So if you're someone who is misunderstood by others and this doesn't bother you, then this is not a trauma for you. But for some people, it is a big trauma. If somebody misunderstands them, or misinterprets them, or sees them in a certain light that isn't correct or in alignment with their truth, then this will bring up old traumas from the past, an old wound, and can be really, really difficult to navigate. So feeling misunderstood and this wound where it really, really affects you is because it has to do with the past, specifically childhood. So feeling misunderstood can bring up a lot of different feelings. And it can bring up anger, sadness, rage, frustration, resentment. And on top of all that, it can give you the perception of being very alone. When we feel misunderstood, it's saying that nobody understands me. You don't understand me. And if nobody understands me, then I'm all alone in my world. This can be very painful. So when we grow up, we have a family system, and everybody plays a role within the family unit. What role did you play within your family unit? A child who is authentic, but gets in trouble for that authenticity. Maybe they're a little bit of a trickster and they get in trouble for these things. Or maybe they are absent-minded and they forget things, but it's not something that they are doing on purpose and they get in trouble for it. So this can be really hard on the child, especially if it is repeated. So for example, I was very absent-minded as a child, and I would get in trouble a lot for losing my things or misplacing things or forgetting things. And this became a part of my identity. It actually played a part on my self-esteem as a child. I began to believe that I was stupid or that something was wrong with me. But I knew that I wasn't doing it on purpose. And so I felt very misunderstood in this. There's always going to be a functionality of that or something that is created through that. And so for me, it was this belief that I was stupid that was created through this. There are many different core beliefs that can be created through feeling misunderstood. And then family members can also build certain identities within the family unit. And if they all of a sudden are labeling a child a certain way, unconsciously, the child will take on that identity. And so one identity would be the black sheep of the family. If this child is constantly getting blamed for everything within the family unit, and this isn't done on purpose, it's just something that can happen, then that child will take that on as their identity. Their self-esteem will be attached to that. Usually the black sheep of the family are misunderstood. People actually don't understand them, and then they get a lot of blame put on them. But this can be very, very confusing for that child, very damaging for that child. And so what happens when we are believing, okay, I'm all on my own in this, nobody understands me, I'm over here, then we put up protection and walls. Anger comes up, defense comes up. Someone in this position can become very defensive. Defense is used as a coping mechanism to be able to deal with what is going on and to protect themselves, because they feel that nobody else is there to protect them because nobody understands them. So then when you grow up and you're an adult and you get into a disagreement, say with your partner, and you feel all of a sudden misunderstood, or they've perceived you or your words in a different way than what you meant, and they aren't able to connect with that, that can really bring up a lot of old stuff. A lot of sadness and a lot of anger and possibly a lot of defensiveness. But the good news is if this is showing up in the present, in your current relationships and current life, then it's showing you that you have the capability to heal this. It's showing you this part of yourself that was developed out of feeling misunderstood as a trauma and something you've cultivated to protect yourself. And usually if anger comes up in the present moment, that again is a protection, protecting the child within, because it's the child within you that still feels misunderstood. If there was healing that took place within that, then there wouldn't be a charge in the present day if somebody misunderstood you. You just wouldn't care. It would be like water off a duck's back. Okay, they don't get me, they don't understand me, don't care. But if we take it so personal that it affects us on such a deep level, then there's something that needs to be looked at there and something that needs to be healed. So there's a few tips that I can give to help you with this. Number one, ask yourself what you need to prove. What is it that you need to prove, and why do you need to prove it? Why is it so important that you get your point across, or that you are understood by the other? Why is this so important to you? And I can't answer this question for you. You will have to ask that question yourself, because this answer will be different for every person. You also want to ask yourself, what am I trying to protect? Right? If somebody perceives me a certain way and they're misunderstanding me and I don't see myself that way, truly, is it a part of my identity that I'm trying to protect? Am I attached to my identity, this identity or piece of me that is being somewhat miscued by the other? Aha. So this is my ego. And then ask yourself, if I didn't need to protect this part of myself, if I didn't need to protect this part of my identity that I am so identified with, would I really care so much about what the other perceives of me? Would it matter that I was misunderstood? What would that feel like? Close your eyes and do this exercise. Ask yourself these questions. Visualize it and feel it in your body. If I don't need to prove myself, prove who I am, then I don't have this issue. I won't have this issue anymore. It's also to understand and look at the pain within when this comes up. So say you happen to be in a disagreement with someone, or there's a misunderstanding and you feel misunderstood. Recognize what emotions are coming up for you. Is it anger? Is it sadness? Is it rage? What is it? Then connect with those feelings and feel them. Are these familiar to you? Do you remember feeling this as a child? Can you remember instances when you were a child when you felt misunderstood? Is this an old wound? Well, if you're getting triggered in the present moment, I guarantee it is an old wound, but I want you to do your research. I want you to do the work. Don't just take my word for it. Actually check in with yourself. Go back into the past. Feel your past. Connect back with yourself as a child. Get curious. When you've gone back and connected with yourself as a child and looked and gotten curious and found out all the information that you need to figure out about this situation, you need to hold yourself in this. There has to be a healing that comes from it. So the emotions that you feel, say it's sadness. Okay, what did I need as a child that I didn't receive when I felt misunderstood? Okay, I needed to be heard. I needed to be held. I needed someone to listen to me. and to try to understand where I'm coming from. Okay, well, the only one that can do that for you now is you. You are the one that can hear yourself. You are the one that can listen to yourself. You are the one that can hold yourself. That child within you is still very much alive within. So connect with him or her, ask her what him or her needs, and then provide that for them. You can visualize, close your eyes, and build a relationship with the child within. The more and more you do this and hold yourself in these triggers, in these trigger responses that are from trauma, the more you will be able to heal this aspect. The more awareness you bring around feeling misunderstood, and when it shows up in your daily life, the more and more you have the potential to be able to heal this old wound. I do a lot of inner child work with my clients, and I'm currently offering free 30-minute discovery sessions. And if you want to book a session with me, the link is in the description below. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. My name is Tess. Thanks for watching.